Charlie, my lovely girlfriend, has a half marathon tomorrow, and I was curious into what's going on in that little noggin of hers. She's had a long journey to get here through trials and tribulations with injuries, and today I'm going to dive in to some discussion on what it takes to get where she is today. So, without further ado, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm definitely nervous now. We're like less than 12 hours away from, about 12 hours away from the race. And I always get nervous poops, and they are definitely coming.
Sexy.
This will be my second half marathon ever, where I'm doing it outside of a half Ironman. So that'll be fun, just doing a purely running race. I haven't done that in 3 years. And then the last time I did just a half marathon was my first half marathon ever. So I think it'll be fun to just see what I can do off fresh legs.
So this is your first or second half marathon.
Second
Ever.
half marathon ever.
Whoa.
The reason I haven't done a half marathon or another marathon is because I've dealt with my shins hurting for as long as I have been running, and doing triathlons was more fun, and it just allowed me to build up volume and build my aerobic engine without hurting my shins. Because whenever I would do any quality work, like a track workout or any tempo runs, my shins would bother me. And so just never really wanted to do a pure running race. And signed up for this one because December, January were like low points for me in terms of health. And I wanted something to look forward to. Had surgery in February and just wanted something to look forward to and to get me back into training. And this was kind of the perfect like timeline, because it is 9 weeks post-op, or no, sorry, like 12 weeks post-op. So it allowed me to have an 8-week build after 4 weeks of doing basically nothing.
Definitely would be frustrating. From where you were, you had built up some pretty good baseline fitness, and coming back into this race is like your chance to kind of prove to yourself a little bit that you still got it, and maybe that you still got even more than where you were before.
And before I had surgery, my shins were starting to feel better because you were starting to help me with first diagnosing what was wrong. And we found out that it's not shin splints, and it's like a bone stress. And so I had done a lot of exercises before for shin splints, but they didn't really help a lot. So then we found out why it didn't help, because I was not doing exercises for the right injury.
Right.
So before I went into surgery, I was like starting to feel better running. And then I think honestly surgery was a blessing in disguise, because it just allowed me to completely rest. And like the 4 weeks off, coming back into running, I felt no pain at all. But I had to build back slowly, obviously.
I kind of want to just talk about a little bit of what were the findings initially for your shins,
Yeah.
and then like what a brief overview of what the plan has kind of looked like and how it's evolved. On our first date, actually, when I first met Charlie, we met at a run club, and she was running in our pace group, and I was like, who is this chick? She's kind of cute. And we talked a little more, and she told me about her chronic issues with her shins. And so I made this little plan for her, just like a brief document. I threw some exercises in there, and we talked a little bit. And I was in the second fastest pace group, and I basically told you that you shouldn't be going fast. So I'm like, dang it, did I just ruin my chances of getting to talk to her more by advising to not run fast. But thankfully, she was feeling fine enough to run in our pace group.
Oh, I wasn't. I just wanted to run in that pace
Oh.
group.
Oh, thank you for your sacrifice. And so on our first date, we were sitting next to each other, and I just kind of like prodded her calf, where the typical location of a shin splint injury typically is. It's like on the inside lower part of the back of your shin bone. And what happens is the calf muscle and the soleus get a little too overworked, and it literally starts to irritate the bone on the back of your leg, and like it's almost like the muscle fibers are kind of like tugging at the back of the bone, which typically if you press on there with anyone with shin splints, it's going to be sore like really all the way up the back of the calf here on the side. And you didn't have any of that, no tenderness. And then you brought up your history of stress fractures on the other side, and I was like, uh-oh. You had that pinpoint tenderness on the right side. So skipping ahead a little bit, what really has worked is, she's been dealing with a chronic bone stress injury. And so the typical bone stress procedure is, let's get you in a boot, let's get you offloaded, no activity for like 6 weeks. But you've been through that. You've rested. It's just come back. And so took a little deep dive into some of the research with this, thanks to Charlie's friend Haley, who kind of pointed us to some resources. And what we found is, like, for the more chronic cases, bone stress injuries can be on the spectrum, and Charlie's on the lower mild part of the spectrum of bone stress injuries, where it can become chronic if we're not driving change into that bone, pairing that with proper nutrition. So pretty much the general concept was low-level plyometrics multiple times a day, maybe like 5 times a week. Pair that with some calf work, some heavy strength work, and then load management in terms of volume. And so that was pretty much we're testing this out. And how's it been? How's it felt?
Really good. I tried really hard to stick to the schedules. We have a training plan, or I have a spreadsheet of my training plan, and Brendan would go in every week and put in my rehab stuff.
She's the best patient. She followed everything to a T, did everything I said.
Only because I didn't want him to be disappointed. But it paid off well for me. But yeah, the plyometrics, I think, even helped with my running. Like, I have definitely noticed my running form change for the better. I used to, like, stomp my feet a lot and, like, have really long ground contact times. And I feel like I was looking through old videos of me running and then videos recently of me running, and I definitely look more efficient and light on my feet. So the plyometrics help a lot. And then the exercises, like, we just focus on all of my weaknesses. Like, my hamstrings are really weak, adductors,
Hip
abductors.
rotation was a little imbalanced.
So we
Hamstring
did a lot of those
activation
things.
wasn't really there.
Yeah,
Huge quads as a cyclist, but not little, but weaker hamstring activation with certain exercises.
did not know how to engage my hamstrings. My hamstrings, I don't think, have been sore ever before I started doing these exercises. And I feel like I use my hamstrings more when I run now, too.
Yeah. And I think that could be part of the puzzle, too. I think that, the plyometrics have kind of created a little more elasticity in your ankle and calf and soleus complex. Combine that with the hamstring, better hip rotation. Like, I think your mechanics have just been optimized a bit to reduce the stress on your bones for those contact forces.
Yeah.
And even looking at those clips, you look like you're like gliding across the track versus like stomping and propelling.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to be flying tomorrow.
Yeah, I think my mechanics needed some work, and these exercises, keeping up with them and doing them this whole training block has made all the difference, in my opinion. Like, I had always had the aerobic engine. I always felt like I had untapped potential in my running, especially with, like, all the cycling that I've been doing. I feel like my aerobic base has gotten really good over the past 4 years. And so I just needed something to like allow me to use that in running.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see those two like mesh together, because you've been putting in the work for it. How have you felt mentally when you were going from the injury to how you're feeling now? Like, talk to me about the mental aspects. You've mentioned like how much this means to you. Like, starting off with the lighter question.
I think this race, originally I wanted it to like I wanted to do everything right and prove to myself that I can make a comeback after the years of injury. And then also last year wasn't the best like fitness year for me, and then having health problems, going through surgery and all of those things. I wanted this race to be like my comeback race, and then for it to be a good like foundation for Ironman 70.3 North Carolina. That's like my A race this year, and so I feel like setting myself up and getting my fitness in order, or getting my running fitness up, that's always been a weakness for me. Like I'm stronger on the bike, and then I haven't been able to put in a lot of work in running, and so getting faster at running, building a good base, and then that'll lead up to the half Ironman in October nicely. What else does it mean to me? Yeah, I think just like going through the training block and being really diligent about the rehab and the workouts themselves, I think also just puts me back into like the grind. There's a YouTuber that I really like. I'm blanking on her name right now. British runner.
Philly Fowden?
Philly Bowden.
Yeah.
Her
I honestly don't know.
her phrase is "love the grind," and I feel like in 2024 I lost that. I was training because I wasn't training the way that I wanted to train. I was injured and like was focusing more on my career. What I wanted to do was kind of in like a quarter life crisis, and so 2024, my love for the grind in fitness kind of went away, and so this race brought back my love for the grind.
And if all goes well, you might be qualifying for 2 world championships in 2 different sports, right?
That would be nice. That would be nice.
That is sick. That's awesome. What's the strategy? What paces are you looking to run? What shoes you wearing? Talk me through it.
Okay. Strategy for tomorrow. Well, my goal for tomorrow is a 1:35, which is 7:15 pace for 13 miles. In the past and in workouts, I get a little too excited and I go out too hot and then I die at the end. That's happened multiple times. And so the strategy is to take it easier in the beginning, like be disciplined about sticking to my pace, at least for the first half. And then if I really feel good after the first half, then start kicking it, maybe even like 8 miles. And I've really been trying to practice that throughout this training block too. Like a lot of the intervals that I've been running are cut downs. I've done cut downs like for 9 weeks straight. So I feel like I have been practicing the muscle of like holding back so that I can kick at the end, 10-ish, because it starts to get like sort of rolling hills after 5 miles or so. And so I think I'll try to do 7:10 to 7:15 the first 5 miles, and then settle into 7:15, and then 8 miles in, if I'm feeling good, start to kind of kick it a little, do the cut downs.
Nice.
And then in all my long runs that have had intervals in them, finished my
You're
last
hitting it.
mile under 7.
Nice. What shoes?
Shoes are the Saucony Endorphin Pros.
Yes.
Purple and orange.
Nice.
Fit still in question. Maybe all black, maybe all cobalt blue.
Oh, that color's the one that caught my eye. First day at the track. And those yoga pants. What have you learned from this training block?
I feel like I've sprinkled that in throughout this whole conversation. I think the biggest lesson is rehab makes a world of difference. It's really what allowed me to have such a good training block, and I have never been very good about prioritizing it. And now that I've seen how big of a difference it makes, I am definitely gonna keep prioritizing it. It's
I
like
agree.
brought me so much joy the past 2 months of like being able to see progress after years of not seeing progress and being frustrated that knowing that I had more in me, but I couldn't give more. And just like not being limited by that and getting to see so much progress, getting to tap into my untapped potential. Like, this is just the beginning also. Like, I feel like I'm still riding like a good fitness wave. I know it'll come, it'll plateau in I don't know how long, but it'll plateau eventually. But I'm still riding it, and I think in the next month or so we're gonna lock in on High Rocks, and I know that I can keep getting faster, at least in the next month.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
It's been really cool to see that identity shift a bit, because when you have that chronic injury, how many people you've told the past couple of years, like, oh, my shins are terrible, like I can't run much. I mean, it was one of the first things you've told me, and it's been really cool to see that identity shift and for you to not feel so limited by this injury anymore. A lot of times in the clinic is like shifting that identity accompanies when people start getting better, and sometimes it's like chicken or the egg. Like how you think about your injury and your relationship with the injury itself is a huge component of the rehab process. And as you know, I'm a big fan of like the mental side of healing and self-talk, things like that.
Yeah,
So
you are.
yeah.
I also learned to really listen to my body and anticipate when things are getting to be too much. Like, I feel like I am learning how to toe the line. It wasn't this. There were some roadblocks throughout the training block. Like that one week I ran too much and then ran at Elevate 2, and you had to call me an Uber
Yeah.
on the jog home.
We ran to the workout class and ran back, and or we were trying to run back, and it was just going to be easy zone 2, and like 100 steps outside of the gym, your legs were just like cooked.
Yeah.
And
My shins were hurting.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I'm just going to call you an Uber and then run back.
Yeah. So that was definitely an instance where I went a little bit too far. And so in the following weeks, I would learn to just not run at Elevate if I've had 2 quality workouts already.
Yeah.
And like being smart about knowing when to pull back so that I don't get injured.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about this, but I think it's a beautiful concept of knowing what systems are in the forefront and what you need to wait on to catch up. And I've experienced this recently too, is like your aerobic engine and base has been way ahead of your legs, and your literal bones
Yeah.
haven't been able to keep up with your heart and your oxygen delivery system. And with my recent knee injury, I've told you this, is like my body wasn't built and ready to handle the amount of speed and oxygen delivery that I was asking of it, and just manage that force. And so, yeah, I think it's a good reminder that you need a solid horizontal foundation before you can build the pyramid spire higher.
Yeah.
And I'm going through that right now, and I think I'm almost there. It's like right there. But yeah, it takes patience. It
Yeah.
can be frustrating.
Yeah. Maybe that's another lesson too. Just be patient.
Hmm. Yeah, patient but like ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of the rehab tools are just a means to build your not just aerobic base, but like your structural base. Yeah. Race day tomorrow.
Race day.
Feeling antsy?
Very antsy.
Why?
I just get really nervous for races, no matter what it is. Like, we went into High Rocks not really. I didn't really care about High Rocks because I was like, it's literally a month after my surgery. Like,
Really? Because you were meditating in the breakfast shop.
No, that's my point. Like, I went into it not really caring, and then when it came to the
Oh, I see.
hours leading up to it, I got super nervous still.
Yeah.
Had to pull out my phone and meditate in the middle of a coffee shop. And I'm going to have to meditate tomorrow for sure.
With some cheese in your belly.
Yeah. And this is one I care about and have cared about for a long time and have been working towards. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
nerves are really hitting.
Yeah.
This whole week, really, like it's been on the back of my mind this whole week.
Mm-hmm. I
And,
like to think
taper
about.
just makes you a little more anxious too.
Oh yeah, for sure. The taper mental game sucks.
Yeah, I didn't even taper for High Rocks. I was just doing the training plan.
Yeah.
And so it was like kind of off my mind.
That's true. I think it'll pay off though.
Yeah.
Like, the taper, you're gonna feel so fresh tomorrow when you're running. I like to think about getting nervous for races as your body's gathering energy. Sometimes like the anxiety can just be a mechanism for your body to literally just gather energy and get ready to perform. Because otherwise, if you didn't care, you wouldn't have that adrenaline that can just be put into the gun and just go.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think if you weren't nervous, I'd be like, everything okay? So it's good. I'm like
You're nervous?
a little bit.
For me?
A little bit. Cause I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Mm.
I'm just excited. Yeah.
Thanks, baby.
Yes. Yes. Any other thoughts? What else? What else?
That's it, really. I woke up feeling a little bit under the weather today, so that's making me more nervous too. And we did not get very good sleep for the past week. That makes me a little nervous, but my run felt good today. A little shakeout and like some strides. I feel like my legs are still there. My fitness is still there.
I love strides.
You weren't a fan of them
I know.
before me.
Because that's how I kind of like hurt my hamstring.
Yeah.
But I'm a believer now, for sure. Actually, the workout where I got injured on my knee was like the first time Dave and I really did like a lot of strides before. We've done them before, but it was like 10, 15 minutes of slow jog and strides. And then we were just cooking with the mile repeats. So I think they're definitely important.
Definitely gonna do them tomorrow
Yeah.
in my warm up.
Yes. Cool.
That's all.
So we'll be there tomorrow in DC, the Team After One cheer squad. I'm gonna make a nice sign with some really cool pictures of Charlie on there.
No.
Yeah. Any other closing thoughts?
That's all. Love the grind. I
Yeah?
really love that little tagline.
Love the grind.
Yeah.
Like, what does it mean? Like, why love the grind?
You gotta enjoy the process. And this time I really enjoyed the process. Like, I am trying to tell myself, obviously, I have a lot of expectations for this race and I have a goal that I want to meet. But at the end of the day, this is the best, like, running training block that I've ever had in my life. And that in itself, I am proud of.
Yeah. Someone said on Instagram that the race is just a celebration of the huge months that you've been training.
Yeah.
You know, like the best part of the whole block is just like the person you change into throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
And now you're like this completely transformed person mentally and physically. And then you just go get to celebrate it out
Yeah.
on the track and
Yeah.
have some fun with it.
Yeah. And like the distance isn't intimidating to me also. And
Yeah.
like I think James, shout outs to James, wrote my training plan. He did such a good job of like structuring the workouts, building on top of each other, and also structuring it for the half marathon and making me feel really comfortable in my goal pace.
Yeah.
So
That was
I
a
like,
good plan.
yeah, I'm nervous because it's just unknown, but I have a lot of confidence that I can execute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice, baby. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Race day.
Race day.
Race day.
Race day.